Hi, everyone. I'm going to take a couple of minutes today to talk to you about how to input finances, money coming in and out of your project, as well as hours into your AET record books. So I'm just going to start from the beginning like you would. Our screens might look a little different in a couple of seconds because I do approach mine as an advisor, but hopefully you know how to log in. If not, you need to get your information from your ag teacher. But you'll start with theaet.com, and somewhere there will be the option to log in. If you don't know your password, you do have to get it reset by an ag teacher. We don't know your password either, but we can open up your account so you can reset a new one. So I'm going to use Jack Fletcher's account. He doesn't know I'm going to do this today, but it'll be okay. So when you open up AET, this is what it's going to look like, right? And if you're ever lost and you don't know where you should go next, you should always come back to this project experience manager. It has a $sign, a guy working, and a flask like from a science classroom. And then that's going to show all of your projects. And you can see he has some that he's been working on and some he still has to input quite a bit of information. So here's his steer project for this year. All right. And financial entries is what it sounds like. That if you spend money or money comes in, that's where you're going. Journal entries, the journal is your hours, and it's all hours related to FFA. So if you go to an FFA meeting, that's where you put the hours in for that activity. If you do something with your animal, that's where it goes into your project. So one of the ways you can input is to just click here, like if we were to put hours in for this project, and it's going to bring me all of what he's put in so far. Okay, and I can add to it here. So that's one option. Another option is always to use these tabs on top. Journal is hours, and it'll give you some options of what you want to enter here. I find it's easiest. So let's do hours first. I find it's easiest to come into the journal. You'll see this page and always go to review your journal entries. That's how I do it. And we're talking about SAE projects today. I'm not focused on the FFA component. That's a totally different topic. So let's say that he needs to put in some time with his beef project. And so we're in the right year. We're in 2022. Activity, category, and type, you're going to drop down. This is an experience-related activity. So one of the issues that we're seeing is that students who have SAEs that go beyond the classroom are all putting course-related activity. So for example, if you're in ag mechanics and you are working on an ag mechanics project at home, and at school, some of your time is in school and it's course related. But once it goes home, now it is experience related. That's your SAE project that you're doing if you take it outside of the classroom. Livestock projects, experience related activity. So you're going to click on that one. And then he has a couple. So he's going to choose his steer. And so now we're all set up on top. We're in the right project. This is all about the steer project. You can see that here if you go down the right, it says steer over and over and over, right? So if he wants to enter hours for working with his steer, he's going to go in and do new project activity. This page will come up. Hi. And so you're going to pick the date. So this is today's date. Do you need me? Hold on just a second.
Okay, well,
This is all going to be, it's all recorded, so I'm not starting over. Oh, thank you. Okay. Awesome. Thank you. They brought me my goat milk ice cream, see? From Alex's Goat Milk. Okay. So, project. Here's our date. Project. You're going to go down to the steer project, and then you have to choose a skill. So, let's say this is just daily care. All right. So, every day that you're working with an animal, you're going to demonstrate management techniques that ensure animal welfare. If you're feeding that animal, you are analyzing their nutritional needs. You're looking at them every day. You're watching if they eat it. You're watching if they turn away from it. Okay. And so those two work. And then select and train. So we're going to put just daily exercise training as part of this. So that looks good. You could keep going if you wanted to. Healthcare, yes. We look at our animals every day, hopefully twice a day or more. And we know we're cleaning pens. That's this environmental factors one. So actually, you can mark all of those for daily feed and care. You're doing a lot of things besides throwing feed. Okay, you're going to save that and go back to your journal entry. Here are all those skills. All right, so let's say we're doing this for a week. And so in a week's time, I'm going to say Jack spends at least 7 hours a week. It's about an hour a day. And then here under description, he would write something like daily care, feeding, and exercising of steer. Okay. Now, you can't put the same thing every time and have your book graded in a class or go on to get any kind of degree and think it's going to be acceptable. Every once in a while, you have to throw something different in. And so this is fine for just like maintaining the animal through the project. But if you do something special, like you are going to wash that day, or you're going to clip or shear, or you're deworming, then you want to go ahead and be specific and put that on its own day. But we're doing this, and actually, I should put weekly care since this was 7 hours in the week. Okay. If you have pictures, you can put that in. Okay. You might want to do that. Supervision. If there's an ag teacher there, you say they're there. If they're not, they're not. And then you would save and enter another. And then if we review his journal entries, here it is. This is the one that we just put in right here on the top. And you can see how those hours are adding up. And then on the bottom of that page, you can see he has 156 hours recorded so far in this project this year, since January. Okay. So that's how you're going to put in hours or time. Let's do some money, because if you have an animal, you're spending money. That's one of the things we have to see. There can be no free animals. There can be no gifts of projects. You can get a gift. Like if grandma says, I want to buy your pig for you this year, I want to help you get off on the right foot, I'm going to buy the pig. That's fine, but it can't be free. You have to still show the amount that you paid for the pig. Work with your ag teacher if that's the case for you. Like everything, you're getting some gifts or everything is paid for in one way or another. Most students are just going to portray in their record book what the project costs because they and their families truly want to know that at the end of the project. So you'll go to finances. The other way to get here, if you're looking at that other screen, so remember, you can always follow the tabs or you can go into the Project Experience Manager. The other way to do that is to come right here to this financial entries column. So we'll go back to the steer. Okay. I'm telling all the students personal information now of how much they're spending. Steers cost a lot of money to feed. And so you can see that he's got feed. You pay for a lot of feed in a steer project. He had to buy the steer, so he has the purchase of the steer in here as well. Let's say here, this is for income, money coming in, and expenses if you're sending money out. New placement income is if you have a job and you're getting a paycheck. This is an ownership project, right? We want to see 2022 again. That's where we are. It's the steer project. Don't worry about that one right now. So let's say he has to buy shavings. Let's do that. Okay. So you would go to new entrepreneurial expense. You're going to click on that, money going out. The date, we'll pretend it's today. The vendor or payee, that means who are you paying? So let's say that we go to Coloma Feed. We go to all the feed stores, not choosing one. Okay. We go to Coloma Feed. Choose the experience. Now you could go, here's real life. You go to Coloma Feed one day and you are going to buy everything for every project you have. If you have chickens, you're going to get chicken feed. If you have a steer, you're going to get steer feed. You're going to get shavings. You're going to get everything, right? And so this is set up so that you can look at your receipt and you can put in everything at once. So choose the experience. In this case, it is the steer project. Choose the type of expense. So we said it's shavings. Looks like we could either put that in under just supplies or other. There's nothing specific for bedding. So I'm going to put it in under supplies. Let's say we spent $30 on shavings, and then over here in the note column, you could put what it is that you bought. All right. If he had also bought feed on that same day, I'm going to mess up his book here. Let's say he spends $60 on feed. He likes to put the kind of feed so he can remember when he has changed, like from a finisher to a grower or whatever the case is. So we'll put the name of the feed. All right. And that's all we have to say. So we're going to save and return. If you had more expenses, or some of you might have been holding on to your receipts, but you haven't put them in here yet, save and enter another. And then when we go here, here it is. Here are the shavings. Here's the feed, right? I'm going to take those out because those aren't real and I'll mess them up. But if you ever have to do that, you just are going to delete this transaction. So we'll back this out of his book. But that's how you would put in an expense or an income. Let's say it's income. Let's say it's the end of the year and you get paid. So in June, when you sell this animal at the fair, your auction is on June 18th. Oh, they won't let me go into the future. They won't let me dream. Okay, so we'll say it's today. Vendor, payee, again, who bought your steer? Let's say that Coloma Feed decides to buy his steer because he bought so much feed there. Okay. Choose the experience. It would be the steer project. The type. So, what did you get paid for? Cash market sale, research funding. That's like if someone gives you a grant. Stock show sale, other income, award, scholarship, or premium. So a junior livestock auction is actually very inflated prices. People are there to support you. It's different than just going to like the Escalon auction or the auction in Galt. And so that's what this would be, cash market sale. Or if someone just came to your place and bought, you sold to another person, just a personal sale. So in order to explain why your price is so high, you want to mark stock show sale. And then you would put in whatever that would be. For a steer, we would hope that's about what a steer person would get. Oh, see, he's already put some stuff in here. That's why it looks that way. But this is something new. So you would put sale of steer. Maybe you'd put at fair. So the purpose of being specific is so that someone else reading your book who doesn't know you, has never seen you or the project, can understand in the book what happened with this project. And then you would just hit save and return, save and enter another if you had another piece of income. Okay. So I'm going to cancel though because this is not true. Again, I don't want to mess up the book. So that's basically how you do it. That's how, remember, journals are for hours of any kind related to the FFA, and finances, money coming in, money coming out, going out. Okay, thank you.